What if you didn't have to take out student loans and you could go to school paying cash? How would that feel? It is possible. I got 5 tips today to 5 of my best tips to help you if you have a senior, if you know someone going to college, if you're going to college yourself, pay for school without taking out those loans and paying them back for years and years and years and years. I know this is possible because I did it. I was able to save up and pay almost $80,000 in cash for my husband's education. So it can be done. So I got 5 tips to help you go to school or help someone you know go to school without student loans. Can I get a yes and amen? Anyone hate student loans? If you're just joining me, I'm Carissa and I'm over at Change Your Finances, where I love to help women overcome money struggles and gain financial peace, all with a biblical perspective. And today we're talking about the 5 of my best tips. I do have 20, so there's a worksheet above. Let me give you the worksheet. The worksheet has 20 tips, but I'm just going to give you my top 5. So top number 1 is keep your expenses low. Keep all of your expenses super, super low. We lived in a really cheap apartment. We drove old cars. We just had a really simple lifestyle. So the more you can keep your expenses low while you're going to school, while you're paying for your student to go to school, the easier it will be to pay cash for that school. Okay. And the more margin you have in general to breathe when you have less money that you're spending out on your regular expenses, you can breathe, you can save more, you can save like a crazy person for school. So that's tip number 1, is keep all of your household expenses as low as possible. And tip number 2 was actually kind of surprising. You hear about the FAFSA and filling out the FAFSA, but here's the thing. I thought I would make too much money to have my husband qualify for any FAFSA grants or scholarships. And what I found was not true. As we started filling it out, he was able to get like $1,500 up to $2,000 a semester for school. And so always fill this out. You fill it out in the spring and the FAFSA, and that will give you funding for the fall and the following spring. Does that make sense? So if I fill it out in January through March, that gives me funding for the rest of the year, for the next school year. And you would be surprised, even if your family, you're putting your student through school, your college, and your family, you think you make too much money, still fill this out, because this will help your student to be able to pay cash for school and not take out those student loans. So that's keep your expenses low, fill out the FAFSA every single year, and go for grants and scholarships. Don't go for the student loans. Just do the grants, do the scholarships, and then there's tons of other scholarships that you can apply for. And even the smaller ones, $500 here, $300 here, they all add up. So you want to make sure you fill that out. The next thing, and this was another big surprise, is go to the community college as long as possible. Now, we all know that you start at the junior college, at the community college, you transfer to school, to the university after 2 years. What you may not realize is that even upper level classes, some upper level classes are still at the community college. So even if you are already at the university, my husband was taking, after he transferred, he was taking upper level classes, a class here, a class there at the community college, and they were offered there. They were equivalent transfers and all of the things, even on upper level classes. So always keep checking your community college, see what they have to offer for the classes you need for that semester, because I'm looking at the numbers. So at the community college, we paid $86 per credit hour as compared to like $320 or $340 per credit hour at the university. So even if you are at the university, check out the community college for as many classes, general ed, even upper level classes that you can just transfer to the university. So that's tip number 3. Tip number 4 is work really hard. This is probably one of the ones I resonate with the most because that's what I did, but work like a crazy person, have your student work and pay, whether it's the, delivering pizzas, whether it's babysitting or nannying or, work on campus programs, whatever it is, have your student work. And you work hard because all of that extra money, anything extra that you guys can bring in can go to paying for schools so that you don't have to have student loans. And you don't have to take out student loans. Your student doesn't have to take out student loans because one of the reasons I decided to pay cash for my husband's school, we got married, we had debt, we had student loans, all the things. And I didn't want to take out any more debt. One, because the thought of taking out any more debt was already suffocating. The debt that we had was already suffocating. And I didn't want to add to that stress. Second, I had seen so many of my friends graduate from school with tens and tens of thousands of dollars of debt and then still be paying on it 5 years, 10 years, longer, 20 years later. And it just was this ball and chain around my friend's neck that I didn't want for us. So work really hard, find ways to bring in that extra income, whether it's a side hustle, whether it's a job, whether it's a second job, whether it's something that you can do online around your school schedule, whether it's temporary work at the holidays. Work hard, have your student work hard, and put all of that money towards paying for school. One of the ways I did it is I took the total amount that I would need for the whole year, and both semesters, summer session, any books, any other expenses, took that total amount, broke it up into monthly amounts so that I could have monthly, have enough money. Actually, I didn't do it for the whole year. I did it for each semester at a time. And so then I had 4 months to save up for the next semester. Does that make sense? So I took how much I needed for fall and I would put that aside between spring session and the fall session and put that aside, divide that total by 4 months. And that's how much I needed to make and save each month to pay for school. That's number 4. So we had keep our expenses low, fill out the FAFSA, go for grants and scholarships, take as many classes at the community college, work hard. And last one is save money. Save money like it's going out of style. Keep your expenses low. See if you can cut costs. Say no to unnecessary purchases. Don't do the same thing that everybody else is doing. Anywhere you can save money, put it aside. And don't just save money. Put it in a specific savings account for school. I totally lost what I was going to say there. For school. So put that money in a specific savings account. So it's not all mixed together, because I don't know about you, but when all my money is in one savings account, I'm like, I have lots of money. But what I forget is I earmark it for certain things. And then I really don't have as much money as I think I do for that. So make savings a priority. Find ways you can save money. Can you get a roommate? Can you get 3 roommates? Can you, eat really simply? Can you cut expenses? Be hyper focused on saving. It will take work. I'm not saying that it doesn't take work. It did take work. I have 20 more tips, or 20 tips altogether, that you can get right there. changeyourfinances.com/20 tips, pay cash for college. There's a total of 20 tips that I use personally to pay almost $80,000 in cash for my husband's education. And so it just, it's all about having that mindset that taking out a student loan doesn't have to be an option. There are other ways that you can pay cash for school without any loans. And can you imagine graduating debt-free with 0 student loans? Let me tell you, that was one of the proudest moments of my entire life. Sitting there in the stands, air horns are blaring, watching my husband in his cap and gown walk across that stage completely debt-free. We had done it. We had been able to save up the money and pay cash for his school. Now, there were times when we didn't have a lot of money extra, but we were able to pay cash for his tuition. And my top 5 tips, let me run through them again. Keep expenses low. Fill out the FAFSA every year and get scholarships and grants. Take as many classes at the community college as you can, even upper level. Just check every semester, see if they have them that will transfer. Work hard and just save money as quickly as you can, as much as you can, as often as you can. And here's the other thing I learned when I did this, is when you're saving money, sometimes you only have a little bit that you can save. Still save it. Save it anyways, because all of these little bits add up to being able to pay cash for your children's school, your spouse's school, whoever, so you don't have to take out student loans. You can go to school without the debt, and you can graduate and enjoy all of that income that your job gets you. So those are my 5 tips. If you want the rest of them, drop down to the link to get the 20 tips. There's 20 tips. There's a free worksheet. You can print it out and just work at these tips so that you can pay cash for your school or your children's school. You guys have a good night. I'll talk to you again soon.